this.
Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here, and welcome to the DCS news for the 15th of October 2022. I hope you all enjoyed that, my latest tutorial video, this time on the F-14, which is a brand new series that I'm starting just now while I'm waiting for some of the bugs in the Hornet to be worked on. Welcome to the stream talk, welcome Storm Kimbari, welcome Paul Dillon, welcome Milan. Yes, dotChuckles La-7. We'll be talking about that in just a moment. But yes, there's still some more videos that I'll do in the Hornet series, so don't worry, that's not finished as yet. But I wanted to get some more videos out in a kind of more regular way, and I feel like I can do that with the F-14 more easily, given its more complete state at the current time. Welcome to the stream, David Flute and Zigzag. Hey, hey. So, without any further ado, let's bring the one and only dotChuckles into the stream. Oh, hi.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome, sir. Good to have you aboard, as always.
Indeed. Thank you. Yes, it was a debate as to whether I was going to make it.
Yes.
I have the plague.
We almost didn't get the poor man. Yeah.
No. Yeah. So although I am feeling much better, yeah, get your vaccines, wear your masks. COVID sucks. Don't get it. It's horrible. Yeah.
Take your masks, wear your vaccines, stay in school, eat your greens.
It's not fun. I thought I was going to get away with it. I'd managed to go the whole thing without getting COVID. I'd be a proper good boy. I'd done everything that was asked of me, and then bang. Holy crap!
Life said,
positive.
"Take that."
Yeah, tested positive, and now I fall over. It wasn't fun.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but I'm feeling much better. Yeah.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. Well, feel free to mute yourself to cough from time to time if you feel the need. I've been there.
Yeah, bizarre thing though. Like, not much of a cough with this, which is apparently because I think it's like we're at like Omicron BA.5 or something now in the UK, and this one doesn't appear to have much of a cough, but like,
oh, that's good.
You feel bad. You do not feel good.
That's something at least.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream, Pink Floyd. Welcome, Clint S. Clint S, you mentioned something about my altimeter being in standby. I wonder if you could explain, because I might have done something wrong and I don't know what it is. So, you know, I'm prepared to annotate that video if I made a mistake. Yogi, welcome. Channel Right, welcome. Hello, dotChuckles, says Yogi. Hope you're well.
Yeah.
Mark, Glider UK, evening. And we all have the plague, says Tog. Yes, I guess that's true.
Mark, Glider UK. Must be a glider pilot in the UK. I would
indeed.
Imagine. Very nice, which I used to fly gliders and it was great fun, and then I became a fat body and didn't fly gliders anymore. I've
never flown a glider because I'm not skilled enough. I like being able to fall back on power.
Yeah. If you get your approach wrong, that's kind of you. You're nicely committed.
Yeah, exactly. Your intersection point with the ground is fixed.
Well, actually, no, not true. There's a couple of things you can do that can you can vary where you're going to have your meeting with the ground.
Yes. Thank you very much, Clint S. That's a nice detail. I'll add an annotation to the video. I suspected that's what I'd done, but yeah, that was one that I missed. Oh well. So anyway, without any further ado, let's start with the Eagle Dynamics newsletter for this week.
Yes.
Let me press the magic button.
A bit of news.
We has some news. Dear fighter pilots, partners, and friends, our third-party developer Octopus G. Now, am I right in thinking these are the guys who made that funny little tiny Soviet fighter, the World War II fighter, the I-16 or something like that? I have a funny feeling that was them.
Yes. He says Possibly.
I'm pretty sure that's the one, and that would make sense because this is another Soviet fighter. So, our third-party developer Octopus G is happy to announce the upcoming La-7 for DCS World. We're thrilled to introduce another legendary warbird to the DCS World War II aircraft hangar. Please read the details below. This week, we are delighted to present DCS World 2.8 update. Version 2.8 will contain a weather system update that includes moving clouds and mission editor controls and much, much more. I'd love to know what the much more is, but even just having mission editor controls is going to be great because we've been stuck with the kind of interim solution, I guess you would call it, for about a year now, where we only have presets for clouds. We can't actually tweak them, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, that'd be really, really good. Yeah, I-16 confirms chat. Thank you, Paul. Will it include the La-7R, asks Tog. Well, let's find out. Let's continue with the newsletter, see what it says. DCS La-7, the Lavochkin, I'm probably murdering that. La-7 is one of the most famous Soviet fighters that saw action towards the end of the Second World War. It was the crown jewel of Soviet World War II aircraft design and saw great success at the hands of the Red Army Air Force ace Ivan Nikotovich Kozhedub. Okay, why give me these things to say, newsletter? With 60 kills.
Read this. I'm glad you read these and not me.
Yeah, I'll make a fool of myself with poor pronunciation. So he got 60 kills, the vast majority of which were fighters, which is quite impressive. Let's actually take a quick look at the screenshot here. Oh, okay. The screenshot link doesn't actually take us to any of the pictures. That's great. Thank you. We'll just look at this. The La-7 aircraft is equipped with the 14-cylinder ASH-82FN radial engine, which was a derivative of the ASH-62, itself based on a license-built version of the American Wright Cyclone R-1820. The ASH-82 was truly the pinnacle of Soviet air-cooled engines. Reliable and easy to maintain, it developed 1,850 horsepower. The aircraft was also well armed with two formidable 20mm SHVAK cannons. The wooden airframe was light and sleek, yet extremely rugged. It offered excellent, in fact, overall performance, and was loved by its pilots for its handling and capabilities, making it easily as good as the best Axis fighters in air combat. The Octopus G team has leveraged their experience developing the DCS I-16 to develop the most accurate La-7 possible. Their La-7 will have fully interactive cockpit, detailed systems modelling, and an outstanding flight model based on years of DCS World development experience. The module is very far along and is planned to be released into early access in the first part of 2023. So this concludes our new aircraft announcements that Eagle Dynamics was talking about. And funny thing was, chat absolutely called it because chat said...
did.
Yeah, they did say, they were saying, you guys won't be happy, it's going to be a World War II plane.
It'll be a World War II, and they were right.
They were right.
Yeah, I mean, not massively of interest to me because it's not, it's got a funny thing on the front that goes round and round and round.
It's a fan to keep the pilot cool because he tends to sweat when it stops.
But nice. But the La-7 it's a sexy looking plane.
It's a beast.
Yeah. And it looks like they've done a really good job with this. There's lots of nice little details in the cockpit, that I'm seeing in the screenshot that they've provided. So there is clearly some love and work that has gone into it. And I'm sure it's going to be a nice module. Just again, it's not something that's going to hold much of an interest for me, but I can recognize the art for what it is. So,
Chat is saying here, in fact, Tog saying that this aircraft served until 1951, which is pretty good. And Tog also saying, are they just porting all of the IL-2 aircraft into DCS now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they are trying to. They do seem to be trying to steal the crown from IL-2 in terms of being sort of the king of the hill in World War II sims. I don't think they're gonna do it. That's my feeling. Because they won't make strategic bombers, you know, which is sort of one of the things that you get with IL-2. You know, you get the, I guess they're not strategic bombers; they are still kind of tactical bombers. But
Were there
you know,
truly any strategic bombers in World War II?
yeah, that's B-29. Argue that's strategic bomber.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
guess B-17 to an extent carried out a strategic bombing role. So yeah, I guess there were, but the thing that, like, I think that Style 2 lets people do that DCS won't ever let them do is, you know, sort of man the bomber and, you know, have that kind of multiplayer experience, because, you know, the ED have said they're not really ever going to make anything that requires more than 2 crew for logical and good reasons. But I think when it comes to sort of World War II stuff, you know, if they did want to steal that crown, that's where they'd have to go, I think. I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing here. I'd have to sort of actually look at some usage statistics and see sort of how people use IL-2. But I mean, I certainly know from my anecdotal experience of people I know that play IL-2, that's the things that they like. So
I haven't played IL-2 since IL-2 1946, and I really enjoyed that sim. And chat are kind of talking down on IL-2 here. I think that might be slightly unfair. I think IL-2, well, using 1946 as my baseline, because I've not played any of the newer versions, I thought the flight model was excellent. I thought the damage modeling was some of the best, actually, in any flight simulator. Maybe, you know, the systems modeling, not really there. You know, nothing like DCS.
In past iterations, yes, I would say that, but I think the sort of current place that IL-2 is at, the systems modeling is very good. Now, I say that in a, like, yes, you can't interact with all the systems, but they are there and they are doing things and they are, you know, damageable, you know, and you know, they have an effect when they're damaged and things like that. I think, do you know, I guess it comes down to two kinds of crowds, and I'm not saying that one is right and one is wrong. I think they're just two different ways of playing a game, and you know, that's absolutely fine. Whatever suits you. Is that there's the crowd that, you know, wants to be able to adjust fiddle and push buttons and do all that kind of stuff and get into the air combat, and that's fine. I would say I probably fall into that crowd.
Oh, me too.
And then, you know, then there's you know, the other crowd that are all about the knife fight. They're all about getting in and having that dogfight. And, you know, provided that the aircraft flies right, you know, they're not going to be too fussed if they can't, you know, exactly set the, you know,
the prop
temperature
pitch
of their radiator and all that kind of stuff. You know, provided that the aircraft flies right, you know, they're happy. And I think, yeah, there's those two schools, and you know, it's just sort of what suits you. And I think, you know, IL-2 perhaps falls into the latter, and DCS falls into the former. And again, I think this is why I think, like, you know, DCS may struggle to take the crown off of IL-2 for that kind of thing, because I think there are more of the kind of people that are like, no, I want to have a really good dogfight, than I want to go and read a 40-page manual and then go and have a really good dogfight, you know?
Yeah.
And that's fair enough.
Why not both?
You know, that's fair enough. You know, that's fair enough. And I think they'll struggle to sort of convince people over. But who knows? Time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah. They clearly, like, you know, I don't think ED are stupid. I think they clearly see business in having these World War II aircraft and maps. So, although it's not particularly of interest to me or you, there are clearly people who love this stuff. And, you know, even as someone who doesn't really care about this, you know, looking at this modeling, looking at this aircraft, it looks like, you know, what's the name again? Octopus G. It looks like Octopus G have done a really nice job here. This is looking very cool.
Just Clint S here has made an interesting point. IL-2 absolutely destroys DCS in consistency, though. Doesn't have a 1942 spit flying against the late 44 109 etc. And that is like a super important point. Because that is totally correct. Like the air combat in IL-2 is sort of period consistent and makes sense, whereas in DCS it doesn't. And I think that comes down to, I mean, I'm reluctant to call IL-2 a survey sim because it's not.
No.
You know, the detail that they put into their aircraft is at a study level. So I'm reluctant to call it a survey sim, but the obsessive level of detail that goes into with DCS aircraft, which is usually down to the fact that a developer has got access to a real example.
Yes.
Which I think may be why we've got this slightly skewed, inconsistent, weird farm of animals, because it's what developers have been able to get access to. And I wonder if that perhaps doesn't hurt DCS occasionally.
I find this point very, very interesting, because it's one that people raise a lot. You know, actually, we even had it last week and the week before when new aircraft are announced. People are sometimes angry, or at least they express disappointment. Like, oh, why are you adding that to the game? It doesn't have a counterpart, or it'll be overpowered versus this or that. And my point of view is always, well, you don't have to fly it if you don't want to. You don't have to include it in your missions if you don't want to. And ED are not... they're not deciding what gets into the sim. So if a developer comes along and says, hey, we're going to make a blah, 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 ED are like, sure, give us the money. You know, they don't care. And I think that's fine. You know, I absolutely see DCS World as a sandbox simulator, and they're not trying to do any balancing, and they're not trying to make it fair. It's, you know, they're not trying to make a game. Whereas IL-2, while it is absolutely a simulation, it's also a game, and they've made it as a game, and it has some of that balancing and so on.
Yeah, but look, we're straining at territory because DCS is a game.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
I think you'll find the simulator is just like GTFO. Stop being a twat.
Oh, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm talking about focus. So, like, I think DCS focuses on being a sim and doesn't care about being a game. That's kind of my point.
Yeah.
Of course it is a game.
I think that is a mistake because... Well, no, not a mistake. It's the way they've chosen to do it. But I think that's why DCS will remain niche. And that's fine.
Yes.
It's cool being in a niche, and it's cool that we have fun in that niche. But it'll always be a niche, and it's because of that.
Yes.
And that, again, that's why I think they'll struggle to knock IL-2 off the... you know,
I think in short they won't. Like, you're not going to dislodge IL-2. IL-2 is kind of the pinnacle of World War II air combat, really. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
You know, they've worked really hard and they've done a very good job.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Yogi, by the way. That's very kind of you to make a donation. Thank you.
Yeah. And I mean, but like I say, you know, DCS, it owns its niche. So, you know, hey, we can't complain too much.
No, certainly not.
You know, and it does just have this slightly weird, you know, weird farmyard of animals.
It's pretty disparate, and there are not that many good pairings, that's for sure. And this is something that people bring up regularly. And I think it's a fair point. Like, it's a fair point, but also it's kind of working as intended, you could say.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Delta makes the point here. I'm sure pilots who met the enemy in combat complained about mismatch. You just fight your battle, and that's absolutely true. I'm sure the guys in Vietnam in MiG-19s when they went up against F-4s were like, "Oh, that's not fair."
Yeah.
But you know, they owned that battle.
Absolutely.
So, like, it's a fair point, but I think like
these guys are smurfing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, no, it's not a game. Just please stop it. Just stop it. It's a game.
It's a game. It's a very, very good game, and it's also a simulation game. You know, it's a simulation because they're simulating things, but it's not a simulator because that is a very tightly defined thing that is used in flight training, and this is not an actual simulator.
Exactly. Like, to be a simulator, it has to meet a lot of criteria that this doesn't meet. You could argue it is a desktop training tool.
Oh, for sure.
I would say that, but it is not a simulator. It is a game.
Yeah. Yogi also making the point, by the way, chaps, the Winwing Orion 2 ecosystem is very good. I'm assuming he's talking from some personal experience here.
Is that the F-18?
They started off with F-18. They've now added an F-16 grip, and they've even added a force sensing option with their sticks as well, which is very exciting, because then you can properly recreate the F-16 stick.
I've liked the look of their throttle quadrants.
They even have an F-16 throttle now as well, which has the proper articulation, because the F-16's throttle is a bit weird.
It's nice. Their stuff looks nice. My one issue with their kit, which I think is probably easily solvable, is their desk mounting solutions looks really flimsy.
Yeah,
like like, I don't know if I trust it with that expensive hardware. But then again, that's very easily fixed. So
true enough. Yeah, maybe you can get around that.
Yeah, like, I think, you can either build yourself a little pedestal, or you could
make a sim pit.
Upgrade. Yeah, well, yeah. It's like, I mean, but like, that's the only kind of thing that I look at with their stuff and kind of go, oh, I don't know, like. But the rest of it, it just looks awesome. It looks really, really authentic, which is nice. And yeah, I'm sure like the mounting solution can be worked around. But then again, like, being a Virpil fanboy,
me too.
Their first generation mounting wasn't that great either.
I'm still using it. But the thing is, I think I'm lucky in that my desk just kind of conforms to it quite well. I think there are a lot of desks where it wouldn't work as well as it does for me. For me, it works okay.
Clint S saying Monster Tech / Fox mounts make good gear for them. Yeah, so there you go. You can work around that. You could work around that.
And you're a customer of Monster Tech, I believe.
Yes, I am. Yeah. They made I wanted a solution for my throttle and collective. Jeez,
oh yes.
Sorry, COVID brain. They make like this mounting plate for your specific chair. In my case, it's a DX Racer. That has like a quick release system. So you put it on, you turn the lever, and then your throttle's mounted to your chair. And then when you're doing your day job and you don't exactly want to be sitting in a cockpit whilst you're working on Word docs, you can unhook it and stick it.
Why would you not want that? Surely you want that.
You might, but it's a bit distracting.
Yes.
And it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't that expensive. And what I got felt like a quality piece of gear, nice, good quality alley extrusion, and it looked like it had been CNC water cut, like big thick steel plate to take the weight of all the kit. So I felt, for what I paid, I got a good bit of quality gear from them. So
nice. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yogi also asking, so what is your view of the next announcement for a new aircraft module release? You're looking at it, my friend. DCS La-7. This is the final aircraft release that ED were hinting about. Just going to scan through chat a little bit here. Yeah. Frantic Stone, sorry, had a busy week. Someone catch me up. Did they announce a new aircraft? Yes, the La-7. Yep, everyone's asking about this. It's the exciting part. Oh, was hoping the Jag is going to be the announcement, says Frantic. You know what? So, me too. I hoped it's the Jag. But I'm still not clear on what that Jag teaser is. I don't know if that's a community module or an actual DCS module. I have no clue.
It feels really community to me.
I know,
which is cool.
I know,
which is cool because we've got some great community mods out there now. That's not a jibe.
just look at the A4. The A4 is like, I would pay for that. That is amazing.
I know, right? It's amazing that that's free.
Yeah.
So it feels like it just feels like it's a community mod.
And the thing is, I'm almost certain that you're right, but I don't want to believe it. I want it to be a DCS level mod. I want a real Jag. But hey, you're probably right.
Yeah, but it might. But the thing is it might be. It might be a DCS. It's just because it's a third. You know, it's a community mod doesn't mean it's not DCS level. I mean, we you know, again, holding the A4 up as an example.
Yeah, that
is a DCS. You know, that it's pucker. Like, it's really good.
Very, very good.
Yeah. So there's no reason why this can't be to that you know, to that level. I mean, I am amazed that they give that away for free. You know, they could easily have, you know, entered into an agreement with ED and be selling it because it is of the right quality, you know.
Absolutely, and you know, all power to them in that they've said that they will never charge for it and it will always be free. I think that's very good of them.
Yeah. I hope that they go. Do you know what? I hope that the people involved in that go on to do other things that they get paid for, because it's, you know, it's a brilliant.
They deserve it.
It's a brilliant module and they deserve it. Yeah.
J.R. Walker asks, "Are you enjoying your new gimbal yet, dotChuckles?"
Yes, it is. It is a triumph. I really like it. It's the damper in it. It just makes everything. It feels hard to explain, but it, like, so with the old spring and gimbal, when you put force in, it felt good, but always when you relaxed the force on the stick, it didn't feel right. You know,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Like, you don't have that, like, sort of hydraulic feeling that you get. I mean, even in a non-power control aircraft, you have this kind of hydraulic feeling because of airflow over the surfaces and all that kind of stuff.
And even control surface counterweights and things like that.
Yeah.
Feed into that pilot feel.
I guess hydraulic's the wrong term, but anybody that's ever flown an aircraft in real airflow knows what I mean.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels a lot like that when you had to spend some time setting it up though. Like, it was tweak to get it to where, you know, I wanted it, but I'm almost there. Unfortunately, I haven't used it as much as I wanted to because I got it out of the box and started to, because I'd left it for a while. I'd had a crazy time at work and I'd left it for a while, and I was like, oh cool, right, I'm going to get it out of the box, I'm going to fiddle with stuff, I'm going to do things, and then I got COVID. So
yeah. This is the way.
But the bit that I used it for was like, oh, this is a worthy upgrade. This was good, you know. So I'm very pleased with it. Yeah.
Yep. I'm just catching up with chat. I think I'm completely caught up with chat. Cool. I saw a lot of tweets from Razbam on the F-15E. Looks like it's coming along well, says Yogi. I actually haven't been keeping up with that. I'll maybe take a look at Razbam's Twitter channel at the end, and we can see what's going on there. In the meantime, let's continue with the newsletter. There's more. Yeah. Dynamic weather coming soon. After extensive testing of new moving clouds and effects like rainbows, we're ready to update DCS World weather in the upcoming 2.8 version. We don't have a date for this yet, by the way. The weather system includes optimization for VR, and we're confident that this will result in a more stable and smooth experience. Version 2.8 will be a large update to DCS, and you will be able to experience new atmospheric effects like rainbows and ice halos. The ice halo effect settings have been added to the Mission Editor weather tab, and clouds will now move according to wind direction and speed. The rain effect has also been enhanced, and there have been fixes to rare volumetric cloud artifacts. Actually, more recently we haven't really had any of those. They did improve that early on. Adjustments have been made to the tone mapping process and exposure control. We recommend a gamma setting of 2.2 Flat shadows on MFDs and cockpit shading have also been improved. Oh, right, that's a separate sentence. Flat shadows on MFDs and cockpit shading have also been improved. We're excited to bring you this weather system update, and we look forward to your feedback. Please stay tuned for more DCS 2.8 news coming soon. And they had these nice pictures, and they also released this short on YouTube, which gives you an example of some time-accelerated weather effects. So, what do you think, Chuck? Looking good?
It looks very good.
It looks very good.
It looks very good, but, you know, for anybody that was a fan of early 2000s British comedy, I'm going to say, look at the clouds, not around the clouds, looking at the clouds. 3, 2, 1, you're under. Ignore the fact that we're doing absolutely nothing about the optimization of our simulator, and we're going to fob you off with clouds, and you're back in the room.
Just ignore Vulkan and multi-core and the lack of the ATC update.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That is sad for sure. Personally, actually, I'm very, very psyched about these clouds, but as you know, I'm a bit of a fanboy. I'm just excited that the clouds are going to move now, that they're synced in multiplayer, and that they will have an effect on AI.
Can we just take a moment to like the abused relationship that we are in, that we're excited that clouds are moving? I
mean, that's true. When you say it like that, it does sound a bit ridiculous.
I know. Come on, like I know that DCS is our safe space, but at some point, you know, we have to look at the reality of this.
And yeah, actually, in fairness, this is the reintroduction of a feature that we had years ago.
I know. It's like we're excited about this. Okay, cool. I mean, like, yes, it looks really, really good. It does look good, but guys, come on, your code base is 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like, can we have some optimization, please? I shouldn't need a 3090 just to get acceptable frame rates.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, Yogi is asking here, what other improvements do we think that DCS 2.8 will bring beyond the weather improvements? I think this is them just beginning to trail what we're going to get in 2.8. So this is the first thing they're mentioning.
Okay, so dialing back the snark for a minute.
I think it's valid snark.
I hope that, yeah, this is the first of the, 2.8 is going to be improved weather. Boom. Right. Some multi-core support. Boom. Right. New ATC.
Now
boom,
we're getting a bit optimistic.
I know, right?
Oh, dear.
Yeah, like when I heard that there was a version number increase that we were going up, like I thought, like I hadn't clued into the clouds belt. I thought, oh, big things happening, optimization, all that kind of stuff. No, it's just we're giving you some clouds, and it's like, I mean, yes, I guess it's pretty. It's pretty, but guys, we've been talking about multi-core, we've been talking about optimization, we've been talking about ATC for far longer than weather, and the massive missing dynamic campaign, that has long been talked about, and it's like, okay, maybe this is what they can do and all that kind of stuff, but like they need to really start acknowledging this stuff.
And we've actually we've had updates where they talked about the fact that they were working on the ATC, they were working on Vulkan, they were working on multi-core, and those have never really. Well, we haven't seen much of it, but on things like Vulkan and multi-core, what can you actually see? Because these are mainly kind of non-visual changes, but still, you would expect that they would talk about the development progress on that, and we've really heard very little. Like, I looked back in the forums just this morning, and the last time that I saw multi-core and Vulkan being mentioned was October of 2021. So a year ago is the last time it was even mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be hopeful. I want to say that like this version number incrementation is we've unlocked our ability to put these things into place. But like, I mean, God, how long have we been talking about some of these things? You know,
Yeah.
like improved ATC. Like I remember improved ATC being talked about when the A10 got released, when DCS Warthog happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Still, you know, in fact they even I'm sure there was a video that featured like a really cool sounding female ATC.
That's right. Yes, yes, we
yeah.
heard that, and that must have been easily 1 or 2 years ago now.
No, that was back. That was way back, like DCS Warthog, mate. That was like a long time ago.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, Edge was still a twinkle in the eye.
Yes. Well, let's.
Like, I mean, okay, fine. Do you know what? Like, people could say, yeah, but ATC, that's a bit niche and blah blah blah, and people.
It's fairly important.
It's fairly like, but you could make the argument that weather is more important than ATC, and you know
that's probably valid. Yes,
for certain degrees is valid. But
yeah.
I think what we cannot argue is that, well, is weather more important than fundamental optimization, fixing 20-year-old issues with the with the code base? You know, is weather more important than that? Like, and I guess, and there is again a valid argument to say, well, that's not how software development works. You know, it's not a sequential thing, it's a parallel thing, and things take longer, and clouds just happen to get done. But it feels like, well, guys, you've been working on this so long. How long is it going to be before you go, hey, actually, we can't do it? You know, it just, yeah, I don't know. But they look cool. They look cool. Again, this is the flight sim community responding to the embarrassment for weather systems by Microsoft.
Yeah, they really did. They upped the game, and I think that was a big part of why Eagle felt the need to give us the new cloud system in the first place. But sadly, while the new cloud system was a big step up graphically, it was actually a step back functionality-wise, and this is them reintroducing a lot of that functionality that we should have had. Like the ability to actually edit them, the fact that they will react to the weather, and the fact that they'll be synced in multiplayer and the AI will react to them, which I think will be very nice. But let's.
So this is us sort of just returning to where we were.
Almost, yeah, we're almost getting back to where we were. But let's hold them to their word. You know, they say in the newsletter, please stay tuned for more DCS 2.8 news coming soon. So this is clearly not the only thing we're getting in 2.8. We just don't know what the other things are yet.
Yeah. There seems to be mention of mission editor controls and things like that.
Yeah,
that'll
be good.
Very welcome.
Yeah,
and that will be very, very welcome, because the mission editor has been a dumpster fire since the start. I mean, like
we've been getting new features, but they're a bit bolted on.
Jesus Christ, you know, the ability to copy and paste only came in like a few years ago.
Yeah,
you know, like, you know, an undo function.
We still don't have that.
Yeah, 2022. Where's my fucking undo function? Come on.
Yeah, it's Zigzag saying he would rather have voice command options to control systems without a keyboard. You can already do that with third-party software, so I don't see why ED should waste their time reinventing the wheel.
Voice attack?
That's the one I've heard of, and I think there are other options too.
Like, I used to, in fact, a while back, because I've not played it for ages. I used to use it in
Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous.
A lot of people do.
And it used to have voice responses from like famous folks. It was really good. It worked really, really,
John
really
Cleese.
Well. Yeah.
I warned you.
Yeah, it was really good. So voice attack. So you can totally use voice attack.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. But yes, anyway, like, so the positive effects of this, hearing that it's going to affect AI.
Yeah.
These clouds. So that's again going to change the way that the AI fights, which has been getting progressively scarily human.
They've made a number of updates to the air-to-air AI, which have been quite impressive.
Yeah, it is very good. I mean, compared to what it used to be, it's been getting really impressive. So the fact that these clouds is going to affect AI, definite good point.
Yeah, very cool. Based on a tip from Yogi, I think now we should take a quick look at Razbam's Twitter, because they do actually have a number of things they've posted recently, some of which I've seen, and some of which I haven't seen. So this is kind of cool. We've got a bunch of videos here. Behavior with non-target SP creates target... Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know what this is talking about. Oh, it's very, very loud. Let me turn that audio off for now. And this is a demonstration of the air-to-ground radar. Looking rather impressive.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I don't actually know what they're doing here. This looks like offset aim points or something. I don't really know what he's doing here.
Yeah, that looks like offsets.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's just a very short sequence that repeats itself. They also have a video, actually this one's in YouTube, of a buffeting test. This one was kind of cool. I don't know how overdone it is with regards to the fins, the tail, because I see a lot of jiggle in the tail. It could be realistic, I guess. But actually, we're seeing jiggle from just about everything here. And you're also seeing the air intake ramps move based on the regime.
I think a maintainer's going to want to have a look at that aircraft afterwards. Although, that said, I have seen a film of, it was a C5 Galaxy, where they induce that.
Yes, they do this kind of thing for testing.
Yeah, and like the whole T-tail of, you could see everything twisting like by a lot. So yeah, maybe it is real, but it's scary.
Stay on target.
It is scary. I saw this video. What I like is the low pressure vapor effect. I think looks very good as well.
The overwing.
Yeah.
Oops. Let's just quickly play that again. Yeah, so what we're getting here. Yeah, that does look good. The tail really jiggles. And yeah, who knows? Maybe that's realistic. I've never seen the tail of an F-15 during maneuvers, so that it doesn't look like a very thick structural part of the aircraft, and so maybe it does flex like that. Yeah, no, very impressive. It does look good. It does look good. So we've got that, and then we also have air-to-ground radar work in progress. Luckily, this one has no audio. So just more examples of doing different things with the air-to-ground radar. I don't really understand any of what we're seeing here. I think squares are initial points, triangles are target points, and circles are steer points, so I get that symbology. The rest of it, I don't really know what's going on, other than it's just doing a map scan.
So I'm just reading back through chat, and I forget, not everybody might know what Vulkan is. Yogi is asking, what is this new Vulkan operating system Eagle Dynamics is working on? It's not that Eagle Dynamics are working on Vulkan, they're working on making their software compatible with it. And Deephack being a developer, you might be in a better position to explain what Vulkan is.
Well, I'm not a graphics developer, but I've been involved in games development and creating renderers, which is what we tend to call them, for different graphics frameworks. Of course, the old school is DirectX 11 or OpenGL. Vulkan is an alternative way of interfacing with your graphics card and making it draw stuff. And Vulkan basically is a lower level interface that bypasses a lot of the automatic stuff that your graphics drivers would do. So in the bad old days, you would describe the scene that you wanted your card to draw in a very high level, very abstract way, and then you would rely on the fact that the graphics drivers would make clever optimizations. The problem is that not all graphics cards and not all graphics card drivers are made equal. And so NVIDIA tended to have a big advantage here, because they would even have code in their graphics drivers that would detect particular games and enable special optimizations for those games. And then if you had an Intel or an AMD graphics card or something else, then even though your card was just as powerful, the result was worse, because they weren't doing clever optimizations for you. With Vulkan, we take all of that away. We don't rely on the graphics card doing anything clever. We rely on the game giving very specific instructions to the graphics card. And this is actually better, because the thing is, the game knows what it's trying to achieve, whereas the graphics drivers don't. They just get a series of commands and they try their best to optimize them without any knowledge about what the end result is supposed to be. I feel like that was a very long-winded explanation, but yeah, basically, Vulkan is a very modern way of drawing graphics for video games, and it's better.
Yeah, much more efficient, which translates into more frames.
More frames!
We
want more frames.
Okay, Zigzag asking 3D point of view. Hang on, I'm trying to parse what you've said. What placing on the map is needed in Mission Manager as one creates builds. But oh, I get what you're asking for. Yeah, like a 3D. Like, I guess kind of like, is it Zeus in Arma?
Yes, that's right. Zeus in Arma is kind of amazing.
Yeah, yeah, I'd be all for that. I would be all for a 3D mission editor in. I mean, the mission editor in DCS, it's kind of rubbish. It's just, well, it's not rubbish, it's just like
somebody commented earlier that we should be happy we have one, because IL-2 doesn't even have one.
Very true, very true. But the thing is that the mission editor that we've got now is largely the same mission editor that we had in Lomac.
Yes. Yeah, it's based on it, yeah.
In fact, it's largely the same mission editor we had in Flanker 2.0.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we've got some, like, the addition of triggers, but the way that they're implemented in the mission editor is just... okay, really? And... we can see, kind of a top-down 3D view of things replacing, well, fuck me, welcome to 2022.
Yeah, that's true.
And the argument is, as well, most people use the scripting and just bypass it using something like Moose or...
That's pretty high-end. You got to be...
Yeah.
Got to be top of your game to be doing that stuff.
Or they use Mist. And my point is, well, you shouldn't have to. Yeah. You shouldn't have to. I mean, I have so much respect for mission makers, because the toil that they put into building missions, like, just it's a heroic effort to build a good mission in DCS. So I just have infinite respect for people that do it, because they're working with a tool that works, but it's not exactly modern.
True.
Or easy to use, or have things like an undo function. And
the thing is, I think ED recognized that, and that's why they added the Lua scripting. And all these additional frameworks. So that's a way of getting around the lack of a good mission editor, is having this deep access to the simulation backend. And I think that's very, very good, but it does then mean that the job of making missions becomes very highly skilled.
Massive respect to the community mission makers out there, because they're really working under some conditions. Things that should be very, very easy to do are just the amount of hoops you have to jump through with the mission editor. I mean, we could do with like a nice new mission editor. That would be good. And having a 3D point of view for that, and being able to place your units, that would be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome.
Having something like the system that they have in Arma would be incredible. But I can only imagine that's a pretty immense undertaking for them to implement something like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is it. It's like, you sit there and go, well, how hard can it be? But the
Very
second
hard.
you have, the second you have to ask the question, how hard can it be? It's really hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe there is ways, but I mean,
Tog just made me lol.
Hey, clouds.
Yeah. I am psyched for the clouds, but yeah, I understand people's kind of disappointment and irritation with this announcement, and I do hope that there's a lot. Well, maybe not a lot more, but I hope there's other things they're going to announce for 2.8. That'd be cool.
I mean, like, yeah, they look pretty, but it does make me a little sad. And the thing is that people are starting to notice now, and some big names are starting to leave because it's like, they've been going. And I kind of feel like I have quite a lot of staying power here because, like, these are people who were in the community for like maybe 5-6 years, and we're going, wow, we've been complaining about this for 5 or 6. It's like, mate, I've been complaining about this since like the early 2000s,
Since before you were born.
No. So, that just shows, like, what do they call it? Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. Ashton Mountford, Deep Hack reminds me of Kenobi. I wish.
Hello there.
Hello there. These are not the droids you're looking for.
But I'm gonna remain hopeful. 2.8. Maybe this is where it's like, right, we've got our ducks in a row. Let's go with these optimizations and get it out. It might be this version number, maybe.
Ooh, Clint S. Chuck is better than Jabbers.
Oh, oof. Oh no! Take that back. Jabbers is a good guy.
Jabbers is good.
Jabbers is a good
like Jabbers.
guy. Take that back. He's a good guy.
Funnily enough, I was, I don't know if I should admit this kind of thing or not, but I was actually using his startup video for reference when I was making my startup video for the Tomcat. So, yeah, I referenced him and I referenced the documentation. He does very good videos on the Tomcat.
So, actually, speaking of content creators and things like that, when I was ill, like, I spent a lot of time just looking at shit on my phone, and I fell into the YouTube Shorts hole, and I came across Bogey Dope's shorts.
His are so
wow,
good.
Yeah, right. Like,
so good.
I'd seen before, because I think we commented about him, and I'd seen like a couple, and was like, oh, quite impressed. But like, I got to see a lot more of his content, and
it's very professional.
Really
it's nicely edited. He gets right to the point, and the shorts especially. He's delivering tutorial content in 60 seconds. That's kind of incredible. But I'm not capable of that. Anyone who's watched my tutorial videos knows that I'm very long-winded, and I don't get to the point very quickly.
I think, but do you know? So like with that kind of content, like I think there's, and I'm sure I've said it before that sometimes I want to, with like Burundus, sometimes I want to sit down and I want to take an hour to learn how to start a Kiowa up because I want to know everything.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, how the fuck do I set the IFF? Just tell me that.
These are two very different needs.
But I think there's room for both. Like, and people will find what they want to find. But like, I watched a lot of Bogey Dope stuff, and
Burundus, perfect if you want to know what every single circuit breaker in the Kiowa does. Just amazing level of knowledge.
I still remember and miss 1 minute DCS. Yeah.
That was Leobi, right?
Yeah. Funny guy, very, very funny guy. I for a moment thought it was somebody we knew. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay,
it's not him, no.
But no, it's not him.
Yeah. I thought it was like, is that our man? No, and it's not.
Paul Dillon, still waiting for more South Atlantic map. Yeah, I know that Razbam are still working on it. I really like what they've already delivered, although I recognise that the kind of the mainland South America bit needs some more work. But the Falkland Island and the sea and everything like that is really good already.
Do you know, I've not spent enough time on that map. So I don't know if I'm qualified to comment, but I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, the map's very bare," and it's like, have you fucking seen the Falkland Islands?
That's kind of what it looks like.
Sheep are the predominant land feature.
Yeah, exactly. But I have to say, you know, I've done a few flights in and out of Mount Pleasance on Falklands, and I rather enjoyed it. I thought the terrain looked good. But yeah, some people complain about Argentina needing a bit more detail, and that's probably fair. But you know, Razbam are still working on it. It's not the final version.
Do you know what? It comes down to what I always say about Razbam is that whatever Razbam puts out, version 1 is a bit, ooh, guys, might want to think about this. But over time, it like they like iterate, and it gets better and better and better and better. And then when you get to like version 9, you know, it's absolutely amazing. You know, and that's just the Razbam way. You know, that's how they do it. You know, and
yeah. Yeah, you know, I predominantly fly the Harrier, which of course is a Razbam product. I think where they've got it to now is very, very good. It's not complete still, like there are still some missing bits and bobs, but for normal kind of regular use, I think the Harrier is in a very good place. Like it basically works and everything is pretty good.
That's just how they do it. You know, you choose the point that you buy in at, and you need to kind of be prepared that there is going to be some stuff not right.
Yeah.
But like I have with every Razbam product, I always have confidence that by the time it hits its maturity, it will be exceptional. You know. Yeah, they always do.
They'll deliver. They always do.
You know, which is why I don't mind too much taking the mick out of them, because I know that they'll always get it right in the end.
Yeah, I've got to say, you know, the stuff they're posting on the F-15 right now is looking pretty good. It's looking rather complete. Like, it gives me a lot of confidence for this concept of the early access release happening kind of December.
For the Mudhen.
I think they could do it. For the Mudhen, yeah.
I don't know.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it will be next year, but I think it will be early next year. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like the end of the year's barreling down the hill like really, really fast.
Yeah. True enough.
Yeah,
but I don't know. You know, like you take images like this where they're pointing the radar and having the targeting pod immediately point at that. And this targeting pod, I don't even know which targeting pod this is, because the symbology and the controls are different from the other ones in DCS. So they've clearly already simulated a targeting pod that I'm not even familiar with. I don't know what this is.
Like,
it's pretty good looking, I would say.
You know, I was just thinking, like, actually, it could be at the end of this year, and the reason before the end of this year, and the reason why is because I was applying the criteria of imminent release, and Razbam don't follow. And I remembered, but hang on, wait a minute, Razbam don't follow that. Because you're lucky to get a manual out of Razbam at release. Because I was like, yeah.
That's the thing. We still don't have a manual for Harrier.
You know, we've not seen that kind of content and all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, oh wait, it's Razbam. We won't get a manual until like 4 years after the release.
No, but 4 years after Harrier, we still don't have a manual.
I'm way off.
Yeah.
You know. So actually, maybe again, because it's just like the criteria, you know, is it doesn't apply. Like the kind of, you know, the little, like you know when ED's about to drop a module, because you know you
Daddy
have
wags.
the you have the 4 golden videos. No, let's not talk about things with daddy wags.
No. You're taking this down the wrong way.
abort. Yeah, you always have the 4 big videos. You know, how do you fire the air-to-air weapons? How do you fire the air-to-ground weapons? This is how you start it up. This is how the sensors works. Boom, there you go.
And
you know?
What's that blah 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 doing there?
Yeah. Like, so you know when the ED module is about to come out, but like with Razbam, like you can't apply that same kind of criteria. So yeah, maybe it is.
I'm kind of convinced. I kind of feel like before 2022 is over, I think we will have the F-15E in early access.
Yeah. But I mean, I still stand by that. When it comes out, it's going to be broke. And there's going to be bits missing, and that will be fine, because that's just how they work, and it will become more and more mature, and like we will be sitting 3-4 years from now with the absolute definitive simulation of a Strike Eagle from Razbam. That's how it will go.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think what they're going to end up with is going to be very good, because what they've already demonstrated looks very, very good. And I forget the name of the chappie, but the chappie who's been doing the videos for the Strike Eagle is a subject matter expert. I think he was either a pilot or an instructor, I forget, or both. And it's looking really, really good.
Yeah, I think like in a few years' time, we will have an absolute definitive amazing simulation of the Mud Hen. It's a journey, and we're gonna have to go on it for a while.
Yes. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, and that's fine, because like, do you know what, we went on that journey with the Harrier, we went on that journey with the Mirage, and they're both just fantastic modules. Now, okay, the Harrier still needs a little bit of love, but it's getting there. And I mean, the Mirage is a triumph.
Yes.
So like, I fully believe that is the way that the Mud Hen will go. And we'll just have to have some patience, and it will be a great module. I hope that if there are problems, there might not be, we never know. If there are problems at the start, that the majority of people maintain perspective and look at the track record, because Razbam are one of the few DCS third-party developers that have a track record. And we can look at it and we can go, hey, like, their stuff is really, really good when you let it mature.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Glider UK, not so is the F-15E guy. So. Yeah, he's very good. Yeah. Makes nice videos.
Yeah. Pink Floyd calling me an optimist. Oh, I know, it's disgusting, isn't it?
Oh, man. Terrible.
And so complete flogger in 2030. Ooh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Razbam has a kind of incredible list of aircraft that they're developing. And I do wonder when they actually intend to actually deliver them all, because it's going to take them the next few years just to finish Strike Eagle. Then they're probably going to have to go back and do some more stuff on the Harrier.
What is on their list? Like, I mean, off the top of my head, they've got the Mud Hen, they've got the 23. What else?
Haven't they also announced a MiG-19? They've also announced the Tucano. They've also announced the English Electric Lightning.
Yep. Okay. Hot.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. And that's not even all of them. There's more. There's a few more. So they have there's 5 or 6 aircraft they claim to be working on. They've also been doing the modeling for the BO-105, that helicopter. It's kind of the Pucara. Thank you, Byron. Yeah, they're doing the Pucara. Like, it's kind of insane the number of different aircraft they're doing.
They're doing a lot of stuff.
19 is out. Okay.
Yeah, they've been around for like donkeys.
But they used to do Microsoft Flight Simulator stuff.
Yeah, because their Harrier for this. I mean, this is going back to FSX. Their Harrier was like the de facto standard.
Yeah.
for FSX.
I think the one for FSX was a 2+ as well. I think they had the one with the radar.
Yeah. And I want to say that they're Tucano as well. Like they've made a Tucano before.
I'm pretty sure that's true. Yeah.
For flight sim, and
Yeah.
I think that was also very good. So, like, I mean, they're not going to be porting because
you can't work. Really.
You can't. But I mean, they're going to be drawing on a lot of the research and the documents and the bits and bobs and the accumulated knowledge that they would have had when they were making it the first time round. That's going to help them.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess these are like not easier projects, but things that they kind of got a bit of a head start on.
Oh, for sure, and they have a lot of experience. So, they will deliver. It's just on what time scale. That's always the question.
Somebody mentioning the A7.
Yeah,
I'm quite excited for that.
That's not Razbam.
No, I know it's Flying Iron, as Clint S has pointed out. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they're doing a ton of stuff. But then again, so are Heatblur, like when we think about it.
Yes, because they have Typhoon,
Phantom.
F4.
Yep.
And they were assisting with something, and I can't remember what the hell that was now.
Well, we've also got another version of the F14 coming.
Yes, yeah, they've mentioned they're going to give us the Iranian F14, which is damn cool. And the A6 Intruder.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, Byron said it just as I said it. I feel like they were helping somebody with something, and I can't remember what that was. But yeah, Heatblur have a bunch of stuff on the stove as well. Yeah, cool. So I wonder, should we pimp the VAF at this time?
No, can't be bothered.
Okay, fair enough. So, you've all probably heard me say all of this before, but I'm going to say it again because you never know when there are new people, and we're always looking to recruit new pilots, new instructors, new squadron leaders, new radio people, new GCI, new everything. We want more people. So, the VAF, the Virtual Air Force, it's an online virtual squadron that was originally founded by myself and dotChuckles here. We have a kind of opt-in milsim approach, where you can choose to join the squadron and fly any aircraft you want and do no mandatory training. You can join us in our training sessions and our mission sessions as and when you want. Or alternatively, you can join one of our internal numbered squadrons and do mandatory training, get your type rating, and do additional qualifications. And with regards to the internal squadrons, we currently have squadrons for the A-10, the F-14, the F-16, the F-18, the Apache, and the Harrier. That's all of them, right? One time I missed one and I felt terrible, but I haven't missed any this time, I don't think. So everybody is very, very welcome to join our Discord, whether you fly with us or not. We do a training session every Tuesday at 8 PM UK time, and we do a mission every Thursday, also at 8 PM UK time. And we're always looking for more pilots. And I just started a series today on the F-14. I'm going to do a complete tutorial series on the F-14. And shout out if you'd like to join us and fly F-14s, because we have an F-14 squadron. So think about it.
Yes.
Clint S has a question for you, dotChuckles.
I know. I saw it. And I apologize, Clint, because I saw your question earlier on. Was going to answer it, then completely forgot. So I'm sorry. I will answer your question. So at the moment, I have it set. I just have it set where I like it. So it just kind of feels right. And I confess I use it across everything. That said, it would not be hard to adjust for each different aircraft because of where the bolts are, and they've made it nice and easy to adjust. So you could do both. I don't bother, but yeah, if you kept the Allen key around, you could easily do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Channel Right asking, I wonder if Deca Ironworks will release anything new. I know they were talking about working on something like a J-10. So another Chinese aircraft. The one, if I remember correctly, the J-10 is basically the Eurofighter clone that the Chinese Air Force has, but it's a lot less capable.
Oh yeah, it's that funny canard thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like somebody took a picture of the Eurofighter, hit the scale button on the x-axis only.
yeah, it's scaled down slightly, and I think it's their current like light, low cost fighter that they have in their Air Force. So it's designed to be simpler than something crazy like the J-20. But yeah, I think they were talking about that. I don't know if it's coming or not though.
Yeah.
Mark Glider UK filled the form yesterday. Is that the form on the website or is that the form on the Discord? Because the website we don't really monitor anymore, sadly. Like, the best thing to do is to jump into the Discord and speak to people there directly. If it's the form we have on the Discord, that's fair enough. We do actually monitor that.
Yep. Yeah, we really should fix that about the website. That's kind of actually my fault, because I've been sitting with the new website like mostly done on my machine and need to actually finish it and pass it over. So yeah,
real life is busy, man.
Yeah, I know. Sort my ass out and get that done.
Oh, great. Mark says he filled it out in the Discord. That's perfect.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Great, cool. Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, and everybody, feel free to join the Discord even if you don't want to fly. Like, we have a great group of people there, a lot of people who just hang out and chat. There's a really good community at the VAF. Actually, okay, maybe I'm a bit biased, but I kind of feel like the VAF is one of the best online communities that I've ever been a part of or observed. A lot of really cool people. We have basically no moderation that ever really needs to be done. It's very, very rare that we have to step in and tell someone, "Oi, no."
Whoa! Hang on. Let's clarify that. Yeah, there is moderation.
There is moderation, but it happens very rarely because our members are really cool.
Yes. There we go. Just wanted to say that. This is not a free for all.
Yes,
but yeah, we very rarely have to step in because everybody is. It's remarkable. We built a community of aircraft nerds and fighter pilots that aren't assholes.
Yes, exactly. There's no Maverick and Iceman style thing going on.
Yeah. We kind of and I think that's what's good, is that like yes, there is moderation, but the community does quite police itself quite well. I think like it has a low capacity for bullshit. So
yes, very much so. Leo Netzel, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Yeah, you're in time for the ending, basically. So I guess that's basically the news for this week.
Sorry, but I mean, then Zigzag just mentioned the Canberra,
weird aircraft.
Cool aircraft though.
A cool aircraft, but a weird aircraft.
I mean, the Americans took it and stuck like an extra 6 foot on at the wingspan, which made it look a bit weird. But the thing that I like, you have to commiserate the poor navigator
in the coal scuttle.
No. Huh? Even worse, in the nose cone. They have to take the nose cone off to load in the navigator and then put it back on, and that's him in there.
Bloody hell. Yeah.
The coal scuttle you're thinking of was not the Vampire?
Actually,
it was a Royal Navy
the Sea Vixen.
jet. Sea Vixen, yeah, where he was down and to the right in a little hatch.
Yeah, that's right.
Get in there. Like that you know, that's the thing about the Royal Navy. They must really hate their navigators, because they had a series of aircraft where it was like, where should we put the navigator? Let's just stuff him into the glove box, Like
he's basically equipment. We need to have him, but he doesn't need to be comfortable or anything, Like
I'm thinking of that, and I'm thinking, what was the it was an airborne early warning and sort of anti-submarine aircraft, prop aircraft, where they basically like shoved the navigator and the weapons officer like basically in front of the tail wheel, you know, just like in you get.
Yeah.
Not the Gannet. Was it the Gannet?
The Gannet
Might have been
was a Royal Navy aircraft.
Yeah, it might have been the Gannet, but just like it was like, we need to put them somewhere.
Yeah.
Shove them in there.
But Byron confirming it was the Gannet.
Yeah.
We've got some questions here. When is DCS 2.8 going to release? Asks Norazwat. Hasn't been announced. I checked the forum just before the stream began because they have a pinned post where they always update the release dates, and they don't have one as yet. They haven't told us. And then, any idea what Deca's next module? We were talking about that a little bit earlier. We don't know because they haven't announced it, but we know that they've been looking at the J-10 and some other similar Chinese aircraft. It'll be something else Chinese, which will be good. Very nice.
I haven't looked at the Jeff for a while. How's stuff with that? Are they still,
absolutely
still being maintained?
Amazing. Like I can't sing the praises of the Jeff any higher than I already do. I have a complete series of tutorials on it, and I think it's a very, very good module.
But are they still adding stuff to it, or is that now?
No, they're still adding stuff because there are a couple of features that still are to be implemented on the radar. You basically the aircraft was pretty much feature complete at release. Like most of what we've seen after release has been improvements to systems that were already present. But yeah, there's two things that come to mind that they're missing. I think, if I remember correctly, the weather avoidance radar is still to be implemented, which will be a first in DCS. It has a weather radar, which is kind of crazy. And then its equivalent for the cruise page that the F-16 has. There's currently no way in the JF-17 to do any fuel planning. And apparently the real aircraft does have a system for this, but they've not managed to get good documentation on it yet.
And did I imagine things happening to the MiG-21?
MiG-21 has had a number of big overhauls. And even fairly recently, they've been tarting it up. So the MiG-21 is probably continuing to be in a pretty good state. I need to actually fire it up and take a look.
Because that used to be a bit of a main gun for me for a long while.
Me too. I used to fly the MiG-21 a lot. Purely doing radio navigation because there's no other way to fly that thing. And I found that I was able to actually be quite accurate, to actually navigate and get on target very accurately just using the radio navigation.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was a good module for its when it came out. It was it had a lot of features that were like, ooh, new. That's cool. Like
I always remember the pitot that stretches out quite far forward, and it just dancing when you're at high angle of attack, which is quite fun.
What I liked was it would do a little dance on the runway as you rotated off if you didn't get if you weren't positive enough, which is apparently true to life. Like it would do that in the real world. You would have like I don't know if it's to do with the suspension on the oleos. Is that the word?
Yes, oleos. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. On the down gear, would kind of just make it bounce on the ground. If you weren't like just give it a positive rotate. Yeah,
it's a very good module. I like the MiG-21 as well. But yeah, no, if you're looking for something modern and very feature complete, you can't go wrong with the Jeff. The Jeff is very good in my opinion. Very nice aircraft. And although we don't have a squadron for it in the VAF, we do have a livery and we do fly it sometimes. So. Yeah, that's good fun.
Yeah. That's whether you would you buy the Jeff over the F-16?
Oh, come now. Now you're asking hard questions. If you could only buy one, then obviously you're going to buy the F-16. However, the Jeff is more complete, is a little bit more modern. In some ways is a less capable aircraft, IRL, but in other ways is more capable and more modern. It's a really weird mixed bag of features, which are true to life. So I think I would still buy the F-16 because you can't really beat the F-16. But the Jeff is fantastic. If you already have the F-16 and you're looking for something to buy the Jeff. It's good.
Okay. It's an interesting take. Interesting take. Oh, excuse you.
Yeah, my turn to cough.
And I'm the one that just had COVID.
Mm.
Yeah, don't get COVID. It sucks. It's
Yeah,
really bad.
it's no fun. It's no fun at all. Cool. Alrighty. Well, I guess that's it for this week. He's been dotChuckles. I'm Deepak. I do a tutorial video every week. I've just started the series on the F-14B Tomcat, which will be continuing next week. I still owe you all some videos on the Hornet. Those will drop in from time to time, as and when ED fixes bugs in the Hornet. And that's always followed by the DCS news, which just happens to be this thing, what you're watching right now. If you want to support the channel, then please subscribe, like, and comment. That's a really big help. And we also now have YouTube memberships in the form of Deepak's Ground Crew. That's a way of you paying a small monthly fee to help support me in creating the tutorial videos that I put on the channel. And I'd just like to give a quick shout out to the current Deepak's Ground Crew and thank them very much for their support. That'd be Channel Right, Frantic Stone, Storm Kimbari, Byron Farrow, Leo Netzel, Harish Rajan, Pink Floyd, Mangash, and JR Walker. Thank you very much to all of you, and if you would like to join Deepak's Ground Crew, simply click the join button below. But in the meantime, thank you all very much for watching. Fly safe, and we'll see you all next time. Ta-ta!